Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder. Before I get started with today's episode, I just wanted to let you guys know that I uploaded my team building guide to VGC 2015 late last night. So if you want to really see how I build my teams in the format and learn a couple of things, I think it's a pretty helpful guide. It's around 25 minutes or so, but I think it'll have a lot of important things that you may want to know. It also has all the resources that I personally use when I team build. So definitely check that out if you have not already. I will link it in the description below. So today we're going to continue with this team. After winning one game and losing one game yesterday, unfortunately we did fall a bit, so we are now at 1846 with a record of 48 wins and 17 losses. I am thinking of changing the team up a bit soon, as Edu from Portugal is going to be our first opponent of the day with a rating of 1840. I think Edu was actually featured on this channel maybe earlier on Road to Ranked. I don't quite remember, but I feel like I've definitely played Edu before. So this should be interesting because Edu's got a really solid team here as well with some interesting picks. We see Metagross, Hydreigon, Talonflame, Mienshao, Thundurus T, and Gastrodon. So Thundurus T and Gastrodon are definitely really interesting here to me. We don't see them nearly as much in VGC as maybe some of the other more common Pokemon, but regardless, they're still really strong, and I think they can certainly fit onto specific teams. The Metagross here is also interesting because that's probably the Mega Evolution on Edu's end, and Mienshao here, also not as common, but definitely a threat. So like I said, I have been using this team for a while, and I do like it a lot. I'm actually building some new teams for Apex, which is this weekend. If you don't know, Apex is like the biggest Smash Brothers tournament, and they have like over 1,000 entries for Melee, which is crazy. They also run a Pokemon side event, and the prize pool for that's like over $1,000, which is pretty neat. So I'll be competing there, and I'll probably vlog and do some live updates on Twitter and whatnot, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But hopefully, I do well there, and it'll be a good warm up for Winter Regionals. But anyway, let's get into this game actually. So first of all, definite Tailwind potential from Talonflame. I would expect Thundurus to be choiced, maybe Choice Scarfed or Spexed. So I'm thinking I really want to set up Tailwind here, but unfortunately Suicune obviously just can't take Thunderbolts from the Thundurus T. So Terrakion's a pretty solid lead here, I think. I think I'm gonna go with Terrakion and Gengar. Yeah, I actually really like that. In the back. Gonna go with Gardevoir. And I think Heatran for the last one, though Suicune's kind of tempting here as well. It's really between those two. I'm not sure if that Metagross has Earthquake, because if it doesn't, then Heatran's kind of a better call, but... Okay, I ended up opting for Suicune, mainly because it gave me a Tailwind option. And it's not like Metagross can do too much to a bold Suicune anyway, whereas Heatran can get one hit KO by the Gastrodon and the Hydreigon and Metagross should they have Earth-type attacks or Ground-type attacks. So this should be interesting because I think Edu's got a really nice team here. So I'm going to go with my Terrakion and Gengar lead as Edu goes for Thundurus and Mienshao. And this is what I was kind of expecting, so pretty solid here. Now, there are a bunch of options my opponent has here. Mienshao is a Pokemon that often carries Wide Guard in VGC, so we might just see a Wide Guard come out immediately. And if that is the case, I might want to actually... Right, so what I mean, the move I really want to make right now is just protect Terrakion and Icy Wind, but we might just see a Wide Guard come out from that Mienshao. So... maybe I could just double into the Mienshao as well. This is tough. I feel like... you know what? I'm going to... oh, this is really tough. I'm predicting the Wide Guard, that's the thing here. But he might also just Fake Out. So you know what? I'm going to protect the Terrakion to be safe here and go for an Icy Wind to scout for the Wide Guard. I really think Wide Guard's coming out here, though, so I misplayed there maybe, but I ran out of time, so I made the safest move possible. But we do see Fake Out just go into Terrakion, as Thundurus actually goes for Volt Switch and moves before Gengar, revealing its Choice Scarf. So that actually ends up playing out alright, because I was really scared of the potential Wide Guard play, but instead I'm going to be able to break the Mienshao's potential Focus Sash. Metagross comes out here, but I can just burn it this following turn. So this actually ends up playing out pretty well. Icy Wind fortunately does connect with the Mienshao, which is what I really needed to hit. That's going to decrease its speed, doing a lot of damage along the way, actually. So that ends up playing out pretty well. Now I feel like Mienshao here is going to switch out into Thundurus. And now I'm kind of mad I didn't bring Heatran. because Gardevoir really doesn't match up very well right now. So what I could do here is, I don't know, I really feel Thundurus coming, so I kind of just want to wide guard, but maybe he's not. I don't know, I think Thundurus is going to come out though, so I'm going to Rock Slide actually and Will-O-Wisp the Metagross. And Mienshao switches out, so show me Thundurus. As Thundurus does come in, so I do call that correctly. Though I feel like Metagross might protect here, so maybe I should have Icy Winded instead to ensure that I outspeed the Thundurus the following turn. And I actually really think I should have made that play instead, but maybe if Metagross doesn't protect here. But it does go for the protect, so, you know, I made the right prediction, but I should have just gone the full way in instead of going halfway, since, you know, if you are gonna, let's see, I thought Rock Slide missed there. So Rock Slide connects with Thundurus, which is definitely good news for me here, as, almost picks up the knockout, but not quite enough. So here we're definitely going to see an electric type attack go into Gengar and a steel type attack going into Terrakion. And this is quite problematic right now. So I'm very upset that I did not Icy Wind there, because had I pulled off the Icy Wind, I'd be in such a advantageous position, but instead I think I kind of messed up there. And I didn't get the speed decrease on Metagross either, so Metagross is really fast right now, and I'm having a real speed issue in the position I'm in. Unless, of course, it's Admit Metagross, which Terrakion would be able to outspeed, but I don't want to really take that risk. So, oh man, I really wish I made the full prediction that last turn and just Icy Winded as well. So let's see, I really think we're going to see electric type attack going to Gengar. Yeah, I'm going to protect Terrakion here. And I'll just sack the Gengar here. Maybe that was kind of a misplay, but in the off chance Thundurus decides to target Terrakion. But nope, Volt Switch just goes out into Gengar. But you know what? I'm fine with this, because this means my opponent's forced to switch out. Presumably Mienshao is going to come in here. And now I really do think I made a mistake not bringing in Heatran. I don't have many great switch-ins to Metagross's attacks right now. So Mienshao comes back in, Metagross goes for the Iron Head into Terrakion. So. I'm going to bring in Gardevoir here because I'm going to bait the Fake Out onto Gardevoir, as Metagross is probably just going to Iron Head Terrakion again, so that way I can get a free switch in into my Suicune. So I'm going to switch Terrakion out into Suicune here, Mega Evolve, and just go for, I'll go for the Hyper Voice. The speed advantage here is really killing me, and not being able to set up Tailwind hurts a lot too. Suicune's really nice to set up Tailwind, but without Fake Out pressure on this team, there's no way to really ensure a turn 1 Fake Out, especially when your opponent has a Thundurus T on the side. So I really regret not Icy Winding that one turn. Suicune's going to be able to come in here, but let's see what my opponent goes for. I'm predicting the Fake Out onto Gardevoir and a Iron Head onto Suicune. And I can still come back into this match because I can then try to set up Tailwind the following turn. Oh, Iron Head comes out straight onto Suicune though. Okay, so Mienshao not faking out here. Interesting. As it goes for the low kick onto Suicune as well. Brings me down to Citrus. Now I'm kind of mad because I had an opportunity to set up Tailwind and I just lost it. Unless Hyper Voice doesn't KO Mienshao there, but obviously it is. So I really wasn't anticipating a double target into that Suicune spot, which, I mean, it was a good play, maybe predicting a Heatran switch in, but now I'm mad because my opponent gets a free switch into the Thundurus T. So I think I just lost the game for myself. Ah, man. What I should have done was, I think, Icy Winded. So let's see, Thundurus is probably just going to Thunderbolt the Suicune. And he's just going to Iron Head Gardevoir. I think I have to hope that, I mean, Thunderbolt's probably going to KO me, but I'm going to go for a last attempt Tailwind and Protect. If I can somehow set up a Tailwind, this game can still be salvageable, but picking up the KO on Mienshao there was actually bad for me, as we are going to see a T-Bow go into Suicune. Will it knock it out? Unfortunately it will, so that's bad. So I feel like I've been playing behind for the entirety of this match, and the team matchup for my opponent was definitely better here. There's no doubt about that, and I feel like because the team matchup was better on my opponent, I really should have made better reads. For example, if I just Icy Winded that turn, predicting the Protect from Metagross, I would have knocked out Thundurus, which was one of the biggest threats to my team. In addition, I really should have anticipated the double target going to the Suicune spot and just protected with Gardevoir, because that would have ensured me setting up Tailwind. So I didn't really think about the long term, and I really think that cost me in this match. So I'm just gonna go for a Rock Slide here. Maybe he's using Admin Mega Metagross, and if that is the case, there's still a chance I can win this. We are gonna see T-Bolt going to Terrakion there, though. Okay. But nope, Iron Head comes straight out, targeting Gardevoir. That should KO me, as it does. So yeah, I think my opponent won this in a pretty decisive match, quite honestly, as I actually missed the Rock Slide against Thundurus as well. But I think it's a testament to how well the fast Pokemon on my opponent's team really ended up working out. Because my team heavily relies on Tailwind. I'll just go for the Rock Slide here. So my team heavily relies on Tailwind, and when I don't set up Tailwind or don't get any means of speed control, it really hurts. And the Metagross there really hurt me as well, just because obviously it's able to switch into Icy Winds and then Mega Evolve and still be the same speed. So well played on my opponent's end there to take a win for today, and we are going to drop more on the ladder. So unfortunate, but I thought that was a really great game in terms of learning lessons and really analyzing some mistakes I made. But a disconnection there, I think, from my opponent's end. Interesting. I'm not sure if that actually counts as a win or not for my end. I mean, obviously my opponent beat me fair and square, so I'm hoping he got the points he deserved, but we'll see, I guess. But like I said, I think there were a couple key mistakes to analyze from there. It looks like it did count as a loss, so at least it went through, which is good. But there were a couple of key mistakes that I'd like to point out in that match. First of all, just the in general, actually, like, looking at it, my team does not have good answers to Scarf Thundurus T, which was a mistake in itself, so I should have realized that a bit earlier, and tried to set up my speed control game a bit later on. And yeah, I mean, in the first turn, I probably could have expected, you know, Mienshao was probably going to go for a Fake Out or a Wide Guard, as Berserker is going to be our second opponent of the day, with the rating of 1752 from New York, so two solid opponents here, and Berserker was actually the opponent I played in the finals, I believe, of the Brooklyn Premier Challenge, so interesting to get a rematch with them here. I did end up winning that set 2-0. That set's actually on YouTube, so I'll link it in the description below. It was uploaded by Patrick Donegan, so this should be interesting, because we are going to have a rematch here, but he's a really nice guy. I believe his real name is Kazi. Really got a nice guy. Haven't seen him around before very much, but you know, it's nice to really see people get into the scene and do well immediately. So Gengar was really Gengar and Terrakion, which I had on the team, which I brought to that Premier Challenge, helped out a lot in that matchup. So I'm probably gonna want to bring those once again. Now, unfortunately, I don't have Bisharp, which I originally had, and Bisharp was really good against this team. So I feel like some of the weaknesses on my team are kind of coming out right now, which is bad. I do want to go with Suicune just because Tailwind here is really good as well. But let's see. Zapdos actually isn't bad in this either. You know what? I'm going to lead with Zap. I'll go Zapdos, Gengar. Maybe Zapdos, Suicune actually. The thing is, I kind of need Heatran for Sylveon and Aegislash here. So I'm gonna bring Heatran. And I think I might actually keep Gardevoir out this one and bring Terrakion. Though it does feel slightly odd not having Gengar in this match. This is really tough. No, I might go Gengar. Yeah, I just really think we might see Milotic come out here as a lead. But I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'll go Gengar and Suicune with Heatran and Terrakion in the end. Man, I ended up... Oh, wow. Oh, no! I ran out of time in team selection there. I think it ended up giving me Gardevoir instead. That should be interesting. But good luck to Berserker here. Well, that's one of the things about VGC, is adapting, so we'll see how I adapt after not selecting my fourth Pokemon there. As Thundurus and Aegislash actually come out from my opponent here, so I'm glad I did end up bringing the Heatran in the back, as I go with Gengar and Suicune. I'm pretty sure Heatran's in the back, let's make sure. Okay, so I ended up bringing Heatran and Gardevoir, that's alright, Decisions this first turn. I kind of want to... I don't know what item the Aegislash has here, which is kind of problematic. What I kind of want to do here is taunt the Aegislash so it can't King Shield or Substitute, and then switch out my Suicune to Heatran. So you know what, I think I'm actually going to make that play, yeah. This way I get a lot of offensive pressure this following turn. Now, not having Terrakion is definitely making my Thundurus matchup a lot worse because my Terrakion is Lumberied as well. So I'm going to bring in Heatran here. No Thunder Wave coming out from that Thundurus, so probably going for T-Bolt here, which is good news for me. Yep, T-Bolt. Oh, into the Gengar slot. Good read by Akazi there, or Berserker. And Aegislash is going to change stances here. And that's probably going to Shadow Ball my Gengar for a knockout. As it does. So good play, definitely from his end this first turn. I don't mind it though, because like I said, I'm basically forcing a switch out on that Aegislash slot this turn, as I'm actually going to bring in Gardevoir here. So now I get basically a free turn of Hyper Voice and Heat Wave, and he doesn't really have any good switch-ins to anything in the back either. Now I'm thinking maybe I actually want to Icy Wind here instead of Heat Waving, just because I can control the speed a bit better, given that Landorus T is in the back, Kangaskhan is in the back as well. Excuse me, a book drop there. I kind of like Icy Wind a bit more, just because it gives me a bit more speed control this following turn, since Aegislash is probably going to want to switch out here. If it doesn't, then I just pick up a KO on it, which is great. But very good first turn on Berserker's end there, because I lost a Pokemon and didn't get any damage off. But of course, this was kind of momentum management, getting in myself into a better position, just because my Gengar doesn't carry Shadow Ball, mainly because I like Sludge Bomb a lot more for the Fairy-type matchup. We do see Aegislash switch out here, so let's see what comes in. Probably Kangaskhan or Landorus, and Landorus comes in, so this is excellent, because that Landorus is going to get KO'd immediately. As long as Icy Wind and Heat Wave connect here, so fingers crossed. And that Icy Winding connecting is actually good because Thundurus is probably going to go for a T-Wave here, but the other Pokemon's going to be able to outspeed it the following turn. However, the Paralysis is kind of annoying to deal with, as we do see a Thunder Wave coming straight out onto the Gardevoir. So, fingers crossed the Gardevoir actually gets the Icy Wind off here. As it does. And it connects with both Pokemon, that's great. So that should do a ton of damage, and Heat Wave should knock out the Landorus, as I actually crit the Thundurus there, but doing a good amount of damage. Let's see how much Heat Wave does here. Fortunately connecting with both Pokemon as well. It does not knock out the Thundurus, but Landorus here is going to go down, and that's great because that's one of the biggest threats to my Heatran. Thundurus is going to eat its Citrus Berry. So, decent turn there for me. Definitely allowed me to come back into this game after losing a Pokemon immediately in the first turn. But I presume that his last Pokemon's going to be Kangaskhan, which I think is going to come in here. If it's not Kangaskhan, though, I am in a decent position. Aegislash doesn't threaten me very much, so I'm very curious as to what Berserker has as his last Pokemon. I suspect it's Kangaskhan, as it is. So, no surprise to see that come out here. Oh, now this should be interesting. Should be interesting. I need to conserve this Heatran. Okay, what I can go for here is actually just a Hyper Voice and a Heat Wave. But I'm gonna have to want to think this through. Kangaskhan here is slow. Actually, it's not slower than Heatran, so maybe I shouldn't. It can just low kick me. So let's see. I kind of want to Icy Wind here. Now, I feel like he might... I don't know. Kangaskhan here has a bunch of options. You know, does it Fake Out? Though, if I remember correctly, his Kangaskhan actually carries Protect. He might just low kick into Heatran, though. You know what? I'm going to... Hyper Voice, and... I should have Icy Winded there. I don't think I made the right call. Kangaskhan Mega Evolves, and this timer is really getting to me. I don't think I've been making optimal plays just because I keep on, I'm not thinking through everything fully here, but let's see what he goes for. As Kangaskhan Mega Evolves, Heatran protects. Kangaskhan goes for a return, excellent play there. I am pretty bulky, so, oh, that actually knocks me out, wow. I thought I was bulky enough to survive that, but I'm not, so, that's actually probably going to be game there, as I really should have Heat Waved. Oh, that's bad. He's gonna low kick and T-Bolt me here. I think actually, basically my win condition is getting a double protect off. Yeah. If I do get it off, he's probably gonna low kick Heatran and just T-Bolt my Suicune. Unfortunately, I failed there though, as he actually goes for the taunt onto Suicune as well. Man, he's just making all the reads right now, as Kangaskhan goes for the low kick. So, very good play there. And yeah, wow, I just kind of got outplayed in this match completely. not much more to say, to be quite honest, as I failed to even set up Tailwind. So I'm gonna Ice Beam Thundurus here, but obviously it's just gonna be a loss. And I thought today's episode really demonstrated the weakness. Obviously I'm very frustrated because Terrakion would have given me a much better matchup against Kangaskhan and Thundurus. But I can't complain, you know, that was my fault for running out of time here. And the Suicune, while nice, really didn't do very much here today. As I do get an Ice Beam against Thundurus, I should knock it out, but a pretty decisive victory here for Berserker. So 2 losses in today's episode. Overall, I thought my opponents played really well, and I just don't think I played very well, quite honestly. In this matchup, for example, Suicune was tempting to bring, but I don't think it was the right call. I feel like having Terrakion would have been a lot better, just because my chances of setting up Tailwind were relatively slim to begin with. In that first turn, I did overextend to taunt the Aegislash as well. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have any good answers to the Thundurus as well. Suicune here is able to take the returns, but the return onto Gardevoir was definitely a damage roll as well, which was kind of frustrating because had I been able to get a Hyper Voice off there, I think my chances of winning might have been better, just because obviously it would have given me a chance to get back into it. But I think both of my opponents played really, really well in today's episode, and once again, I keep on criticizing my play, but I don't think I played well at all. So good games to both of my opponents in today's episode. The first game featured a very speedy team, and the second one was kind of a more standard team, but Berserker played that really well, and yeah, not much more to say, honestly. I do think it kind of showcases some of the weaknesses with this team, because in neither game was I able to set up Tailwind, and this team really relies on getting Tailwind up. So by not setting up Tailwind neither game, it really hurt me a lot. So we are going to take 2 losses in today's episode, but you know, hey, they're against really good opponents, and they demonstrated really solid teams, so I'm fine with that. But I think it is time to edit this team a bit, just because today's episode really demonstrated a couple of weaknesses. You know, just electric type Pokemon in general. Thundurus and Thundurus T and Thundurus Incarnate kind of gave me a lot of trouble. So probably gonna want to edit my team a bit. Maybe get rid of the Zapdos, because that really hasn't done much, and add a Pokemon that threatens the electric types a bit more. I might also want to bring a Fake Outer onto this team, just because it would make setting up Tailwind a lot better. Previous episodes we've seen Suicune do well, but this episode really not. So 2 losses in today's episode, as our rating probably now is in the lower 1800s, so that is a bummer since we were at 1860 and a couple games away from 1900s, but you know what? That's what makes this climb a lot more exciting, so I will be coming back probably with a newer team sooner or later, since I do have the team build for Apex anyway. And yeah, that's it for today's episode, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, like always, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright, peace.